Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Ronald.
morning.
Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we always do this morning, get back into our routine and go over the daily charts. As we can see, the market is at that resistance line we drew several days ago, and it's just kind of sitting there. We don't know if it's going to push past it or it's going to recede. So right now we're in wait and see mode because it's an inside day unless it breaks the highs. So we'll see that. Otherwise, it's going to come down, but we'll pay attention to see how this thing kind of rolls here today. No reason to look at the bigger time frames because they haven't done anything different than this right here. So we're ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to rock and roll. As it gets closer to the Christmas day, volume is going to start to drop off considerably. So we have to be mindful of that as well. Stick to the rules. Good morning, Quentin. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
So it is 9:30. The only thing we're doing is waiting for the 9:35 hour to trade. Uh, when we went over a lot of good stuff yesterday, I'll show it to you in real time as it flows. Uh, as it flows here. So just we went over price. We went over price without the indicators yesterday.
Okay, cool.
We talked about price in relation to just being able to read what's going on. Like right now, you can see this thing bouncing off of that support line, that bottom green line that we've been had drawn there and trying to go up. But we don't have anything to go right now. We don't have anything going on right now. But if this bar turns red, if this bar finishes red in 300 and 200, 100, 34 is red. So now we're looking for a pullback, and you'll see what I'll do here. The next bar turns green, that's off. So we had a bearish bar, then we had a bullish bar, and it bounced up off of that resistance, that support, excuse me, going back up toward that resistance. And we don't know which way it's going to go right now because it's consolidating a little bit here. But we're going to see if the bulls try to take over right here or not. There's nothing to do with the present moment.
The
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ronald. The news.
news. At 8:30, we had a yellow folder, current account. 10 a.m. we have a red folder, CB consumer confidence, and
Oh, wow.
we
Okay.
had an orange folder, existing home sales. Then at 10:30, we have another yellow folder, crude oil inventories. And at 12, we have a yellow folder, FOC member Goolsby.
Gooseby. Okay. FOMC member Gooseby speaks. Okay. All right.
That's it.
The only thing we're doing is we're just waiting, right? We're not doing anything but just watching how this thing kind of moves here. If it turns bullish, if it turns bullish, then we'll know. I didn't mean to do that, excuse me. Then we'll know what's going on, but we have to wait for this thing to finish on our 8100 volume chart. All right. So this thing should finish bullish. There's no guarantee that, yeah, she did finish bullish here. Wrong one. Hold on. I just want y'all to watch me do the first couple of ones. Oh my God, hold on a second. Think I just messed up. No, I think I just messed up, guys. Hold on a second. I think I got it. Now I have it. So let's just watch and see. I'm a little late to the party, but it should go up a bit here. It just went up to that line. So we'll watch it and see here. But it should push. We should get a push here. There we go. There we go. And I'll take that couple of points there because it's right on support, right on resistance there. And it's going to continue to push up. Right. It's going to continue to push up. So the object of the game, you see how, so let me tell you this, Quentin. You see the momentum on this chart was up.
Yeah.
And you see how this green bar can't try to come down and give you this poke bar. And then it gave you this green bar right after it.
Yes.
So when it gave you the green bar, now I'm looking, once that green bar forms, I'm looking for a pullback on my 900 volume chart. I'm not going to talk about the, so once it formed right there, I got the little pullback here. Actually, it's just not pulling back. And then I got the red bar here, but it should have been a pullback. It was, no, I got a pullback. It's right there. I'm sorry. It's right there. So I did it right. And I got in, I should have been in at 90. I got in at a good price, 90, 92. It's a good price. And you can see it's going to go up. And the reason why I know it's going to go up is because I have the bears have receded and the bulls took over because I had a green bullish bar. And then when it tried to retrace, it couldn't make a good move to the downside. So when it starts to go back up, I know that I got a high probability of that trade working. The only thing is, in that particular case, on this trade, you had an opportunity, though you had an opportunity to get in, I didn't want to be playing around in that zone. You know, I had a zone about 94.75, so I just exited at 94 area. And then that's how we did that. So I'm going to show you price precedes everything. Those indicators on the chart are there to confirm what you're seeing in price. So I'll go ahead and give it to you, and I'm going to pull it up now. I want you to see the naked chart and how that looked. And then now, as I put the indicators back on, you'll start to see about how things work here. Hold on a second. Let me move this. Because once you understand price, then understanding the algorithm becomes much simpler. And this thing is still just teetering at that area. So we wait. And you literally, that's all you're doing. Let me see here.
On your 900 and your 300 chart, you magnified the candles on purpose so you can see it, or is there something?
Oh no, just I made them bigger just so I can see a little better. That's all. No particular reason. No particular reason for that there. But this thing is, as you can see, it's still trying to go up. Now, let me show you something. When I got that trade, right? When I took that trade, I had momentum in my favor on this chart on the 2700, right? And then when I got the trade, when I got into it, instead of me waiting for the poke bar, which is all the way up here, right? Instead of me waiting for the poke bar, what you're doing is you're waiting. Once that thing goes red and you get an entry, you take that entry. And once you get momentum going in your favor, you know the trade should work. So now you have momentum, trend, and timing all in the same direction. So you're able to use 2 charts versus 3, but you're still using 3 charts, but you're using the larger time frame to gauge what you're doing. So you're using these 3 charts here, right? Using 8100 to tell you which direction you should be going. You're using the 2700 to let you know what the momentum is. And then you're using a 900 to tell you what a trend is. And then only thing you're doing with timing is the trader's trick entry on that bar, like I taught y'all a few days ago. And it gave you the trader's trick entry right there. At 91.50, you could have used a 3-bar reversal and got in at 92.50. Anywhere in there, but now everything's going in your favor, and you can see it's just continuing to go up, and it's going to go up until it doesn't go up anymore, and then you'll know that. And that's what the indicators are meant to do. The indicators are meant to indicate. Now, I didn't do it on this trade because I didn't want to come in and hit you with the fire hose. I didn't want to hit you with the fire hose early in the morning, but technically you're supposed to be in this trade here. You're supposed to get another contract here in this area, and then you're supposed to be in another contract here. So you're supposed to probably be in 3 contracts and then allow it to ride and go up. That's how it works in practice and in theory. But again, I wouldn't do that right on a support or resistance line. I needed to test or retest and that kind of thing. And then it bounced off of the bottom one. But it still had been in a range, and it's still in a range, really. Because until she breaks them highs up here, this thing can really come back down because we're on an inside day until it breaks out one with the other. But that trade at 92 is starting to, oh my God. Right?
You said earlier when you was explaining something, you said when that thing go red.
When I said what it was,
you were talking about the trade, and you said when they go red, when that thing go red, then you know you can get ready to enter. I just want to clarify what.
Oh, okay.
That
I
thing
apologize. I know. You know what? That's me. When the short-term momentum on the 900, let me get more. So yeah, when the short-term momentum goes red here, and then you get an entry, you can take that entry because then momentum should start to turn, and now you're going to have momentum, short-term and long-term momentum on that chart in your favor, and you're already being a trade. So now you're catching that first entry, and as it pulls back, now you're able to get in more and more trades. More and more, you're able to enter more and more times. This thing is going straight up. Oh my goodness. And we was in it at 92. But my point is, like, if you're looking at the 9, you see how jagged this is? And right here, I want to show you this so you can understand where I'm coming from. You wait till here to get into the trade. You get in here. This is your second entry right here. This is your second entry. And by the time you get your second entry, right? By the time you get your second entry, it goes back red. So you're stuck. So you're not really getting into the trade, right? Because what we've talked about before, if the short-term and long-term momentum are not lined up in your favor, then you don't have a trade. Well, it didn't give you a trade the whole way up until here. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, this was the trade. And by that time, is this right? Yeah, that's right. By this time, you don't know if you want to trade anymore because it's just still sitting there on that line and it's giving you so many moves. But if you're already in the trade and you're already up, then it doesn't feel as bad because that trade right there worked pretty good at 92. That's what you want to be able to do. And I want to tell you, kudos, Quint, because you said something the other day that prompted me to get to this. You said, "Hey, can you show me how to see all of this with the price action and without using the indicators?" You said that. So when you said that, it prompted me to say, "Okay, cool. Let me do the price action piece of it, And it just so happens yesterday I had a bunch of stuff going on. All right, so there we go. So we good. So we're good to go. And now we just wait. All right. Just nothing to do but wait. Wait on the next opportunity. So that's what we'll do. Right now, there's nothing to do, ladies and gentlemen. Just chill. Temporarily chill. Okay, there we go. There we go. Look at that. I know y'all don't be like, what are you talking about? Look what price is. It is definitely at a support level. So this is gonna tell the story right here, what the day is gonna be like. She pushes back through the support and starts heading back down. She's got to get through these areas. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So I got a question from the group. Yeah, what charts are we looking at? We're looking at the 8100 and the 900 only. That way you don't have to focus on anything. The 81, 27, and 900. The 300 is just there if we want to re-enter trades potentially. And that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty much it. We don't want to use 27 and 300 to kind of enter trades right now. And the reason why we don't want to do that is because it's a smaller time frame and we don't want to get caught in a herky-jerky kind of situation. We want to get caught when we want to be in a trade when the trade's moving. So what else we got here?
Yesterday, did we see, because we're in the last few days before the holiday, did we see anything different in terms of the volume?
Yeah, the volume was a little lower, but there were plenty of opportunities.
Hmm.
uh there were plenty of opportunities. It literally consolidated the hour that I was here yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And then once I left, we had a few opportunities while I was here, but it was in consolidation. And then it broke out of consolidation. And then I came back. When I came back, I traded live on YouTube. I traded live on YouTube yesterday at from about 2 to 3:30 guys, 2:30 to 3:30, something like that. And got back on so that people can see what exactly I'm doing. Like right now, that volume came to a slow crawl, and I don't know if it's because of the news that's coming out at 10 o'clock or if it's because we're getting closer to the holiday, because the day is Wednesday, correct? Yes, the day
Mhm.
is.
Yeah. How was the volume after market hours?
I didn't even look at it, so I couldn't even tell you. This morning, the day before yesterday, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and was trading, but I
Keith,
didn't.
you know some I don't know?
What do you mean?
I said Keith. I heard him. He was laughing.
I was the volume, and it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
The volume gonna be slow for the rest of the month, in my opinion. It's
Hmm.
just you grasp for straws if you're hoping for something to change. I
Well,
just
but didn't you say we have opportunity? We probably just
Yeah, we had
use what opportunity.
opportunities. It's just it was they were there. I had to leave to go take care of something, and there was a trade short right when I left. It was like you said, it was in consolidation. As soon as I left, it got out of consolidation, and there were trades there. It's just they
Oh,
were
that
just
trade's there.
they were just low. They took a long time to go, because the volume is so slow, so price wasn't moving. So that's the pros and cons to the large time frame. But it's just but the good thing about it, we had plenty of time to discuss it, talk about stuff, and just get it, as the trade works. So I think yesterday was good from a education point of view because it was moving, it was moving at a point to where if you had questions, if you had time to talk about it and really get down into theory and why this works, why this doesn't work, and things like that. But it's just, I mean, but as far as the volume right now, it's just
So, Dr. Jones, would that be an opportunity to set stop losses, automatic stop losses? Would
Mm,
that be an opportunity for that?
yeah, you can, because see the thing is you can actually do it in the dome. I mean in the dome. You can actually do it there.
Hmm.
Uh I just ain't trained y'all on that part yet because that is one thing you have to do sim because
Mm.
if you press the wrong button, you in long when you should thought you were short. You getting out when you thought you should have been getting in because you have to know buy stops and sell stops, buy limits and sell limits. Now you have to be able to set them in the dome. That's why I am going to at the turn of the year. I'm going to ask. I'll give everybody a week or 2 weeks ahead of time because I'm coming up with it by the end of the week. Uh, I want everybody to kind of be here together. We're gonna do some filming and we'll do a lot of training. We'll do some trading too, but it'll be more about training and being in the environment, so that we can go over some more pertinent stuff. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Hold on for me 1 second. Remember when I told y'all I hit that support area? I didn't draw it because I didn't want to have too many lines on my chart, but I saw this area as an area of support, and I said, "Ooh wee, she's either gonna break down or not." Well, she's bouncing up off this thing. If this thing if the bulls take over right here and this thing closes, uh, and it closes bullish, that's gonna be an interesting thing. There's no trade long or short right now because you have a bullish higher high and a higher low bar. The bar before it is definitely bearish. It is definitely bearish, but it is not the best of trades to be a part of because you don't know which way she's going to go. If she's going to actually bounce off of the support or she's going to keep down. Now it's also 9:52, so but this Christmas rally has been very different. Let me be totally forthright and candid. This has been it doesn't in the last few years it hasn't moved like this. I mean that's parabolic. It literally hit a support area and bounced up and ain't turned back yet. That right there is usually not how that works. You'll see a Christmas rally, but this has been an extended Christmas rally because it ain't went back all. It's been up all month. If you go and I'll just while we got time because we got to wait for that bar to close. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can
volume
see
was up
it.
a little yesterday.
Huh?
The volume was up a little yesterday. It didn't seem like it, but
That's I didn't say anything because I had already saw that, but I was like, yeah, it was up a little bit, but it moved when it wanted to move, right? When it got out of consolidation, it moved a good bit. Uh, but let's look at 12. Let's look at December last year. December last year, you didn't get a Christmas rally. It went down for it to go up. Now, this is what I want to teach everybody that's watching, right? If you watch what I'm about to show you, you're going to see a pattern. So last year when it was down, right? And then what happened the months following?
so,
Took off. Let's go look at 2021. Let's go look at 2021. I'm just doing this so we can because we got a little time because we don't have any, we don't trade 5 minutes before or after news. So we got some time. Uh, let's look at December 2021. December 2021, it really was stagnant and then it made a rally, right? It didn't make a rally till the last part of the month. And then what did it do? After it went up, because that December, it was an up month. It ended up being an up month, right? And then what she do?
It dropped.
She dropped. So just pay attention to my patterns now. I'm telling you, this is not me. I didn't make this up yesterday. Let's go to 2020. I can show you this all day. And this is how I'm able to predict what I think will happen. I'm not right all the time, but I just base it on history. December of 2020, it went up. And then she continued jaggedly to go up through the middle part of February. Then she had a big drop. And then she had a big move to the upside. Usually what I'm trying to tell you is the market typically reverses off of, okay, now the market's, I watch the volume. Now the markets are, we need to see what's going on here. Because I want to do this live in front of everybody. See, the bar is not done yet. I was off by 1,000. So I'm waiting on this bar to now complete. And then we're going to watch and see how this thing reacts to news. We don't have a setup, so it doesn't. If you had a setup, it was going to happen on this time frame, on the 2700 chart. And we're not entering on the 2700 chart, so that doesn't matter. And these are trades that you can just imagine if you're in at 98 or 92, you can literally see what the market's going to do because you're up so big. That's what I was telling you about the other day, Ronald. If you're coming up into a news and you were in a trade, if you're up 25 points, you can give it a second to see what's going to happen because you're already in the trade. You're on mute.
Yeah, no, I was saying that makes sense. It makes sense.
So yeah, we do. That's right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'll be right back. I do have a 10 o'clock call, so give me a second here. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna be here, but you guys please talk amongst yourselves and dialogue. I'll leave everything where you can see it, and I'll let you know what's going on when I get back. I'll be back there shortly.
We got a red folder at 10. Let's see. Let's see how this impacts the market. See if it's gonna do anything. More confidence and existing home sales.
It just gave you that entry too, guys, at 10 o'clock. It just gave you the entry at 10 o'clock at 20:50:21. Well, I mean, I know it's during news. I'm just telling you, you see how that came back and it gave you that entry there. So just as a FYI. But I'm going to go back on mute. I just want you to see that and watch and see how it works there.
All right.
What's that news?
Yeah, I
The
didn't.
red folder.
I didn't see that as an entry because I thought momentum was down on the 2700.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at that as well.
But he's probably not looking at the indicators. He's probably looking at price.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it's definitely past the that resistance line quite a bit on the
Yeah,
8100. And you know, if that if the trend follows, you know, at 9:05, I'm sorry, 10:05, we'll see what's what.
yeah. But see, I also
I
don't
mean,
see.
it's a new line up there. He showed it. It's not. It's another support line
Oh, I don't see it.
that he didn't put it on there. He didn't want to put too many lines on there.
Oh, you're talking about where the red bar is forming right now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
around
at like
708.
it's right under like 1710.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So if it bounces down to there and then gets ready to go up, I mean, it would have retested that support, and that's a good thing. If you
Hey,
look
gentlemen,
longer.
do me a favor. Let me take this meeting that I have here. And give me a second because I can't use two mics at one time, but give me about maybe 10 minutes and I'll be right back if you don't mind, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
But Keith, too, I was where okay, you see where that last green line printed on the 8100 chart?
Yes.
It was kind of
Still
dancing
hear
in
them, right?
between, huh?
Okay. I need y'all to go on mute just here for about 10 minutes if you don't mind. Just
Okay, okay.
10 minutes. All right, give me about 10 minutes. Please forgive me for that, gentlemen. I had to take that meeting, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Can y'all hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So y'all saw that trade work, but it was during news, and that's that kind of stuff I'll be talking about uh when I say stuff like, if you're already in the trade during news, you can just watch and see what happens because this thing is literally gone from 92. It's gone from 92 to 38. And it gave you another entry, and I'll show it. I want to show everybody here. I didn't take the trade. Let me just tell you, be totally transparent. I didn't take the trade or call the trade because I was on a call, but it was during news, so we don't trade during the news hour anyway. But it was a legit trade, and I think I heard y'all say it right. It wasn't aligned with the indicators, but price it was. Right. It was a price entry versus and this thing is taking off. Gave you a red bar in between, they gave you a green bar here. So let's see if this thing, we want this thing to pull back some before we take the trade again. But
So that one that you had, that one you was calling, that was a green bar that was forming. The time on it on the 8100 is 9:56. That green bar, it was kind of going in between red and green. That was why I didn't see the trade you were calling.
oh no, that's okay. That's okay. So watch this. Once it turned green, right?
Uh-huh.
Once it turned green, then it gave that pullback, the pullback right. And I'm gonna show so I can show it to you here.
What screen you showing it on, the 2700 or 900?
I'm showing it on 900. So
Okay.
as a full disclosure, I'll say every trade that I talk about is going to be on the 8100 and 900. I use the 2700 as a go between to verify what I'm looking at. But that was this was the entry right here on this bar, and then once it got above this price, once it got above that price there. So now you
Oh.
see that. Now watch this. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Right there. You see, if you look over to the right, I mean, look over to the left on the 8100, you'll see that you have a green bullish engulfing bar.
Yes.
You see that? So you see that, and then it pulled back once that bar closed, and then that was your entry. Again, this is 10:02, so we're not trading that time frame because
Yeah.
it's not within that 5 minutes of
Okay.
of that news. So it's okay. What we want to do now is just wait, but we're going to get an opportunity here because thing is, the price went up literally right to the top of yesterday's high. And I think she might be trying to push up here just to show you what I'm talking about. So we have that. And by market. And you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm nickel and diming it today because that thing is late to the party for sure. I'm just doing this because it is a setup, just like I did yesterday. When I was like, if it's a setup, it's a trade. I'm not thinking about it. Just, okay, is it a trade? Yes or no? Then we have to wait on it here. and you see it's the same thing I did yesterday, right? So same trade, kind of trade I took yesterday. All right, it gave me a red bar. And then I was like, okay, you know, the Bears are trying to assert themselves. Then they gave me a green bar right after that, which the Bulls said, nope, you're not having it today. And then they gave you the entry here as it pulled back, and then it went back up here. I'm just showing you
So
how
you
it
took
works.
that out on the 900?
Took that on the 900, correct. And you see how, and I'm doing it this way, guys, so that y'all can see me do this.
Yeah, that's the bar that printed right there, right? 8100.
Right, and it pulled back, and then by the time you got it hadn't given you an entry to the upside yet. So I was waiting on this bar to finish and got in right here.
See, I thought once that bar, never mind.
Hold on, you was in there though on the
Yeah.
long, right?
Yes.
Why'd you now why did you get out?
No. I just got out because I'm just showing examples of the trades and how they work, right? So that you can see it. I'm not trying to get in here and make a bunch of money, especially since this thing went up. If I was in at 92, I'd be sitting up here and be like, hey guys, look what I did today. But I mean, it ain't like that, right? I'm trying to teach you exactly what I do and how I do it. And if you look at it, right, it was red right there. And this is why I say the indicators indicate, right? The indicators indicate, but it didn't confirm. You know, that was a tough one because when I got into the trade, it was just then going green in order for that thing to go green. But now it's green and green on everything. This thing's going to take off a little bit. It might take off a little bit. I'm not saying it will, but it might take off a little bit. But we got to wait for a pullback to get the optimal trade because you've missed so much of the move. You got to think about it. This thing has been going up with one red bar in between twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 bars. And you had two red bars, only two red bars as it moving up. And that's why it's stalling here at the top because it's up pretty big and it's at a resistance, right? You got a resistance sitting right here at this 50 area. Right up in there. So that is why it's stalling, but I got a feeling this thing might push because there's been the news this year has been absolutely insane this month. I said this month has been absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So I mean, you just wait. You said we got 1030 news too, right?
Yes.
But that's a yellow folder. So, and I see what you're talking about, Keith. So let me explain it so I can talk to you about it because I want you to understand exactly what I did here, right? This thing is just up like gangbusters, and it's going to be up. Once you know how to read this, the indicators are down. When that bar printed, I was still in the pullback. Does that make sense? I was still in the pullback. I was still in the pullback without it going up when the trade happened. So because I'm still in the pullback, and that's something I probably didn't go over yesterday because it didn't happen. Let's say this bar prints and it hasn't gone up, but you're in the pullback and it's coming out. That means that thing is probably going to turn and keep going, which is exactly what it's doing. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry. I think I understand what you're saying, but just to be clear, my confusion came because that bar printed red. So that makes it a bearish bar
What bar printed red?
on the 8100.
No, my bar printed green.
I'm looking at your bar right now. The third bar printed red. Right there. Oh,
But I'm not talking about right there. I'm talking about right there. That's why I ended the trade.
I understand that.
That bar is green. This
But look
bar
where that
here,
bar is green at. That bar prints green.
what?
Let me finish what I was saying. When that bar printed red, I thought you had to start over. So now you have to wait for that green bar to print. Right?
Right. I did wait for the green bar to print.
And then so the next bar over was when you start looking for the trade after that prints, right?
Yeah, I got into
Right
the trade.
there is no pullback at that point.
Right.
I thought you had to wait
That's
till
what I
now.
was.
That's what you were saying. So that's why.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. That right there is the pull. The pullback happened on that bar. So and it hadn't gone back up. Because a lot of times when you get into the trade and it's green, like when the bulls took over, is up here. So you got to wait for it to pull back first. But the pullback happened on that bar before going back up. And as it was going back up, it gave you the trade right there, which was great. I mean, that was gravy right there, 50.45-ish. So
Yeah,
now,
yeah, and that's fine. I just thought once you had to wait for the next pullback. After that bar print, you have to wait for a pullback. So I would have been waiting for. I would have been late to the party, but
yeah,
I know what you're
and
saying.
that's a nuance, right? That you need to know. If the trade bar turns green and the pullback hasn't turned on you yet, which means giving you an entry, then you can enter that trade once it gives you an entry because that thing means that it's probably going back up from there, which is exactly what it did. And this thing is going to get past that resistance. The high of
So
yesterday.
let me ask you this then.
All right, cool.
So if I'm looking at it correctly, you got your pull. Okay, I can't really see it now.
Hold on. I'm sorry. You want to look at my charts. I apologize. Let me see. There you go. What you got?
So you got the pullback on the 8100,
Right.
and the next
No,
one
no, 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 no. Stop, stop. You got a green. You got a bullish bar on the 8100. You
right
got a
before the. I'm talking right before the red bar. You got the red bar here. You got the bullish bar. You ended on the third bar.
okay.
Am I
So
right?
let me do it this way. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Hold on a second. That's the bar I wait to complete before I enter on. That bar right there.
Okay. So the one that was a higher high.
Right. That one that was a high out. Correct.
Okay, and that makes sense because that's kind of like um it's confirming to enter the trade is it, before you even you know I see what you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. And the only thing you're doing is like in this particular case, when everything went green, it took off.
So
Like,
let me ask you this one last question. Well,
go
not
ahead.
one last question. So instead of you entered it when it confirmed that it was going up, you didn't wait for it to print another bar. It just confirmed it and it was gone.
Yeah, once it confirmed and I get the pullback on my 900, once the 900 start going back up with that 8100, I'm taking
Okay,
it
stop right there. Stop right there. So go to the the 900
right.
where you said that piece right there, so I can see it.
Once this 900 right here started going back up, like, hold on, I'll highlight it for you. Once the 900 started going back up right here, right on, and let me draw it so you can see it. Just give me 1 second.
That bar that has no body.
No, no, no. This bar right here. Once,
Okay.
because on that bar, on this bar that I'm pointing at right here,
Uh-huh.
it started going up. This was the first bar, and excuse me, this was the, come on, man, don't do that. There you go. All right, so this was the first bar after this bar printed. When I say this bar, after this, can you see that my arrow?
Yeah, yeah.
After that bar printed, this was the first bar after that bar printed. And you see what I'm talking about? Now I'm gonna say this to Ronald. You see how this thing you get in right here?
So
And
you would have so on that green bar that you got the arrow on the 900, you would have entered
once that bar,
once
I entered on that trade once that bar closed and it broke
one
that.
oh okay, once it closed.
Yeah. But once that was the bar that's the first bar on this 8100 bar right here. If you're looking at the 8100, you see
Yeah.
the box, and you see the bar that's next to the bar with the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first bar that's the first bar on that particular bar. This right here is the first bar in this 8100 bar right here. And remember, because you're talking about 81 and 9, the 900 has 9 bars before the 8100 has 1 bar.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. So that right there ended up, and you can see it just took off. I mean, it's still taking off. And I just did it as a demonstration just to show y'all what it looks like. And that happened. I mean, now we got the 10:30 news. 10:30 news is over with, so we'll be able to hopefully get a trade going back down. Because it needs to pull back some, but this thing is off to the races. Off to the races.
Well, I know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I maybe I'm going against the grain because I was looking at the I was thinking that bar that you said you waited on that one to print out. I thought that would have been the entry bar because I saw that pullback happen on the 2700. But we only looking at the 8100 and the 900 today.
Right, right. You're only looking at the 8100 and 900 as
Okay.
your as your as your trend and entry chart. Right.
Okay.
And then you're using the 2700 to confirm what you're seeing, right, as a go between. And then you'll use the 300 as a means of getting in to multiple contracts. Like this was a multiple contract trade because it never went against you. Once you got into this trade, it never went against you.
Yeah.
You got into it. It went against you a little bit here, but once it started to push, it was over with. And I'm showing y'all, I want to show y'all this right here is where I'm talking about where the rubber meets the road, where you start to add and compound. Now you're able to scale your trades. Because here's a statement that I thought that I should say, and I didn't write it down, but I thought about it yesterday, and it just came back to my mind just now. And here it is. You ready? When
Yeah.
you are right, you cannot be over leveraged. When you are wrong, you cannot be under leveraged. Please keep that in mind. When you are right, you cannot be over leveraged. When you are wrong, you cannot be under leveraged. In other words, if you are right, you can't have enough contracts on. If your account can have 20 contracts, you need to be on 20 contracts. If you're wrong, if you can only be in one contract, that's what you need to be in, one contract. That's how you make $30,000 and lose $500. So you want to keep those things in mind. Like now you're starting to get the bears are trying to assert themselves here. But this thing is so far
Can you
off.
flush your chart?
Yeah, absolutely. This thing is so far off, it's ridiculous though. It is far, far off.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
I just put this new headset I'm trying to try out.
You sound, I hear you perfectly.
But I probably sound nasal. It's sinus infection.
Look
Me
here, man.
yesterday, man.
You told me about your day the last couple of days. I was like the Chronicles of Quentin.
Oh shit! It didn't end there. Last night I was my sister battery. What happened? It was so cold. Everybody found out what they really got. So,
That's
so
actually that's
I
funny.
changed her battery out of a GMC Terrain. Man, I had to take a metal. What was it? A metal. I don't know what it was called. Looked like some kind of metal generator off the top of the battery. I'm like, what is this? So I had to go to YouTube, and the only thing I really need was a 10 millimeter socket and an arm. So we finally got it.
And I apologize about that earlier, but we got some good stuff coming down the pipeline, guys. It's just that we're growing by leaps and bounds here. Um, it just we're growing. That's the only way I can tell you. We're growing by leaps and bounds over here, and it's a lot of press. It's a lot of press, and I don't mean press like media press. I mean a lot of work. A lot
Yeah,
of work.
you've been burning the iron over there. For real,
So
for real. As young folks say, FR.
for real, for real. Hey, wait a minute, Ron knows something about that right there.
Y'all
So
funny.
You dripping, what they say.
yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm just trying to put it out to the people that want it. That's all. I'm just trying to put it out to the people that want it. That's it. So now you see how this right here is you got 2,500 bars, but this is very bearish from the standpoint of the market can and might make a pullback right here. No guarantee is going to do that, but the bears are trying to assert themselves and say, no mas, no mas. So we'll just wait and see how it goes. Wait and see how it goes. But that is interesting to me.
So you would say, like riding a bike, the indicators are the training wheels, but the goal is to ride the bike without the training wheels,
Right.
so
The
you can
thing,
flow freely.
right. So let me say it this way, right? Let me be pointedly clear about something. The indicators are there to confirm, but price rules, right? So let's say the indicators are a little off, but price is saying something else. You have got to follow price because price is going to rule. Why does price rule? Because price tells the indicator what to do. Now, this is the thing. I've taught this class on many occasions, ladies and gentlemen. When you understand how to make a lagging indicator a leading indicator, then we're talking about something different. And that's what I have done with what I do as far as how you're looking at trades. Like right now, y'all know there's nothing to do because the indicators are discombobulated, meaning that you got red, green on your two larger charts. Now you got red, red now, but then you got red and red on the, and you got the poke bar on the 300, right? But that poke bar on the 300 is nothing more than, let me show you something. You see that red bearish bar and then the pullback right here? That's all it was. It was an
What
entry on
chart were you? What
27
chart you
and
saying?
on the 27 and 300, which we're not looking at because I wouldn't take a trade on 27 and 300. But just to give you an example, it printed that red bar on the 2700 right there. The 2700 red bar at the top is very high. And then it tried to pull back. And then it went back down here. And it gave you a three. It was a three. This is a 3-bar entry. So you'd have been entering at about 60. And your immediate stop would have been 65. And then it went all the way down to 55. And that's all you're doing. That's it. But now, okay, let's see if we have a red bar, if we have a trade on the, if we have a pullback. Now, Keith, we're looking for a pullback because if you see that bar ended red and is at the bottom, so now we gotta wait for a pullback. You gotta wait for a pullback. So it's nothing to do right now until we get a pullback on the 900. So that's what we're waiting on. That is what we're waiting on, gentlemen. It is 10:40. I have overstayed my welcome, per se. Ladies and gentlemen, we did call 2 trades for YouTube land. We did call 2 trades, both of them were small trades inside of a trade that was one really, really big trade. So we're gonna go ahead and call it today. But here's what I want to tell everybody. Yesterday we talked about doing what you're supposed to do. Today, I want you to think about this logically. Never, ever, ever say what you can't do. Find a way to get done what it is you want to do. Find a way to get done what it is that you want to do. Point blank, period. if you have that attitude, then can't will not be a part of your vocabulary anymore. That said, I am out of here. Y'all have a great one, and we'll talk tomorrow.